Hello, GenRight Nation. This is Tech Talk, and it is July 16th. Thanks for joining us. We are excited to be here. Obviously, I've got a couple of special guests. Arnold and Andrew are joining me today, and maybe even Jordan. We'll see if he comes back or not. We've got a great show for you. We're going to talk about building a budget TJ, or a TJ on a budget. And yeah, we'll get into it in a second. We've got a bunch of stuff also to show you and talk about. So let's get to it. If you're not familiar with this show, this is something where we talk about in a live manner all of our experiences that we've got, and I got to tell you, they're valuable. These guys have similar experiences and some unique to them, as well as myself. So you got quite a bit of experience here to talk about. And of course, we're here to talk about your favorite subject in mine, which is Jeeps. Right? Building them, driving them, whatever it is, right? Or in your case, designing them. Yeah. So, let's see. Because this is a live show, you get a chance to comment. So, let's see if I can find the right button here. Basically what you'll do is you'll type in a comment as a question and include as much information as you can. Now, I will tell you today, we're going to hold the comments toward the end, okay? Because we really want to be able to get through this dialogue between us. I mean, basically, this is going to be a show where you guys are like a person sitting here at the table with us. We're going to be talking about all this, and then toward the end, we'll turn to Jennings and she can start asking us all the questions. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, actually, this is where I usually ask you who's watching.
All right, let's see.
Before I move on. I'm like all excited.
Who's there?
Stephen Waterman says hi, Tony and the GenRight
Hey,
team.
Steve.
Michael Costin says good evening from Fort Myers, Florida.
Wow.
GenRight Nation, hope all are well. Kathy McCavis, almost Tony and Jennings time. Bob Becker says hi. Jerome Balky says good Wednesday, GenRight crew. Kathy McCavis. JC Cologne says hello, GenRight family. Sending prayers and comfort during this tough time to Keith's family and friends.
Yes.
Anthony Paquette says hello, GenRight family. Tyler Louston says, what's up, GenRight Nation? Who's ready for Tennessee Jeep invasion?
Yeah.
Jeep Adventures says, yo. Rick Turner says, Arkansas Rick here. Time for school with Sensei Tony. Can't believe it's actually here. Time for the budget TJ.
So Rick, he's got a TJ that's not very built, right? Or it wasn't a year ago.
Yeah.
And when we traveled through and did s'more, he just hopped in with, or no, it wasn't, maybe it was s'more. It might have been Hot Springs. He rode with me the whole time, and in Terremoto, and like got to see some good stuff. So yeah, he's fired up now.
The Owl's Nest Garage says good evening. Two Feather Channel says hello from the Louisiana swamplands. Jacob Monkelbon says happy hump day. Jason Berger says hey there, Tony and Jennings, waving from NorCal. See you soon.
I like how we're getting the whole
Shamrock Adventures, hey guys, from San Diego, Patrick and Laura. Robert Fisher says, please build this into a 4600 car.
Well, LOL. It might get there.
Matt McDonough says, hey guys, checking in from Norman, Oklahoma. Chase per year. What's up, crew?
Yeah,
hi, Chase.
Chase is going to be one of the ones that's back at Smoky Mountain. So,
Troy Merritt. Hello,
Troy.
GenRight family.
Troy's
Greetings from Nebraska.
Yeah.
Hi, Troy. Bill Walton says, hey guys, see you at the Rubicon. What time will you be leaving in the morning on the trail?
Was that Bill Walton?
Yeah.
Bill
Really?
Walton.
He's going?
I guess.
Okay.
Like 5, right?
Early. I am the
Last
first
time
guy
we were late.
on the trail.
When we left at 5, we were late.
Yeah.
So maybe 4,
Yeah.
4:30.
He should meet us at Ice House. Yeah. Call me later, Bill.
Stephen Draper says hello from North Georgia. Randy Hemme says hello, Tony, Jennings, and GenRight Nation from Louisiana. Richard Peterson says hello, GenRight from Lodi of NorCal. EOT 4x4 Edson says hello, GenRight crew. Shane Wolford says hi, Tony, Andrew, and Arnold, the best in the biz.
Yo!
Chris Savage says howdy, GenRight. Ted Miranda, what's up, GenRight Nation, watching from Banning in the BNG 4x4 garage. Bug says I have a 2005 TJ, this should be good. Travers Enslow says, "Hey GenRight, so excited for this episode and series." Ari Wheels, hi everyone, hi Ari.
Nice.
Stephen Waterman, Andrew's info on TJs and LJs have been golden.
Well, he's going to
That's why
share
I'm
it
here.
again. That's right.
Yeah.
Daniel Partita, hola GenRight. Road King Robert says, "Hello GenRight crew." Jared Ball, been waiting for this for a year and a half. Hi from Clemson, South Carolina.
Real.
Craig Colbert,
We've all been
hi,
waiting.
good afternoon. Hi, Craig. Heath Basham, hello from Texas. Jeep Adventures, Callie says hi. Hi, bestie.
Nice.
Gary Williams says, checking in at the veteran build in Mustang, Oklahoma, working on an LJ with a bunch of GenRight goodies. Shout out to Bobby Cleveland.
Nice.
David Mork says hello, and Dennis Sargent says, "Hey guys," and Jerry DeRimple says, watching from Washington.
All right.
Yo, Jerry.
Man.
More jumping on right now.
Jerry's in Washington.
I feel like he's all over the place. He's always
Jerry
wheeling.
is everywhere.
He's always
Wow.
wheeling. He's got 2 Gs.
I just texted him today.
And Santa Cruz Overlander, hello GenRight.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. You taking time out of your Wednesday evening. Hopefully you're macking on some dinner or snacks or something while we're talking here. All right, let's get going because we have a lot to talk about. Let's move this back a little bit. Okay, featured products. This is for the Keith fans. So this is a shirt that is now available for purchase, and we made it so that the profits go toward Keith's family.
Nice.
And you can also, under this section right here, choose to make an additional donation.
Awesome.
So if you really want to do
Nice.
something more, you can just add on an extra. I don't remember what the increments are, but you can add more money on there for them, and that's a nice thing to do. And then you'll get a keepsake shirt as part of the deal. So it'll be good.
You want to talk about the actual picture that's on there?
Well, so this one was actually a picture that his son drew. But I think
cool.
we're actually switching it to something else.
Okay.
But to get it up on the website, it's going to look very similar. I think the other picture is very close to this.
Awesome.
But it's got the years, of course, that Keith was with us, and man, we're hope he's doing well wherever he's at. So, all right, so that's available right now that you guys can go there and start ordering those. Okay. Next, we just put these up on the website today. Brand new design on socks.
Those are my feet, by the way.
Oh, you were the model.
Yeah.
Arnold, you have cute feet.
No wonder why the foot looks as long as the ankle.
Oh
You
my
know?
god. Actually, it's not me. It's not me.
So yeah, that's brand new. And I showed you guys last week the hats. Those came in.
Oh yeah.
So some brand new stuff. They're ventilated for summertime. So that's kind of fun. And then I know the rest of the apparel is, Jamie just dropped off a whole bunch of stuff across the street. So that should also be up on the website right now. So get over there and buy your favorite GenRight gear. Before we move on, you brought one more little spy item over here that I'd like you to show the front and the side and the back.
All right.
We had a lot of
Jennings
people
might have to back
asking
up.
about these today.
Yes.
These are our new TJ, YJ, LJ, CJ half doors. They're
Woohoo!
similar to the factory style. They take the factory or best top style TJ window, and those should work with your YJ and CJ as well. So yeah, we have a very factory looking door from the outside. On the inside, we have this nice structure in here. Little notes from our prototype, but a little pocket for your wallet or your like air down tool, little items you want to keep in your door, so something that won't rattle around really. If you don't want to use that, or in addition to that, you could also mount our door bag onto here as well. So then you'll have the cup holder in there,
Ooh, I like the
other
cutout.
storage.
That's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
you got the nice GR cutout.
Yeah, and Jordan was talking about like making speaker enclosures that would fit in there and stuff. So
you can bolt
yeah.
on whatever you can. You
Yeah.
can fab with it.
Which
or-
latch do you have on it?
Right now, it's the one-piece best top latch, the one that's on their fabric half doors.
that one happens to be for a YJ.
This one's for a YJ.
yeah,
So
yeah. But they're the same style fits for
Correct.
TJ or YJ or CJ. Yeah.
Correct.
Cool.
They have just different openings on the back, but
And then this has our stainless steel hinges, which are super sleek and won't rust. Very nice.
Nice.
yeah, and they're way lighter than the factory half door. Like I
Ginger
don't know.
says, "Heck yeah, Arnold, love them."
Hell yeah.
Oh, she said, "Hell yeah." Sorry, I misread. That's my Ginger.
Yeah, those are coming out soon. So
But yeah, I
another
think
few weeks.
you know I think we start production on those next Tuesday. Is that what we heard?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Those
okay.
are nice.
So they're already laser cut, formed. We just need to finish weld them
Yeah.
and get them packaged, and then they'll.
Figure
So
out all the little things.
I think
Hold them up one
Jamie's
more time. Those are cool.
Jamie might even be trying to get them listed on the website, or are they already?
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
they're listed yet, but
Yeah,
they're going
but
to be listed really
we'll have
soon.
them,
We need to
yeah,
take
so
some,
that they can pre-order.
they need to take some photos and
Yeah.
stuff still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's the outside, and then I'll show the inside again.
Nice.
It's really nice. And we'll have a set of these over at the Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasions to show off as well.
Nice.
And we can take it to Jeep Night too.
This Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah. Yep. So, another sneak peek at good GenRight stuff. All right. So, all right. I think now, come on, TV, cooperate.
Question?
There we go. Oh,
Or wait.
Whoa, Jordan's here.
Oh,
Jordan's
He
here.
made it. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, world.
Our viewers are gonna triple.
Hello, world.
Yeah.
Oh, how much for the half doors?
I think they're going to be like $7.99 or $8.99 for the pair. We're still flushing out costs, but something right in there.
Do you want a question about sway bar or wait?
Sway bar. Why not?
Why the hell not?
Okay, Daniel Partita says, I'm going to be running your GenRight rear sway bar and eliminating the front. Do you have any tips on eliminating the flashing sway bar light on Rubicons when disconnecting electronic sway bar connector?
That's
You gotta use a
Isn't there
taser,
a-
right? You gotta
Yeah.
use a taser. You plug it in, kind of reprograms your ECU.
yeah. There's a taser and a taser mini.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a Jeep
I thought there was
JKU,
also a
if that
pigtail.
matters.
Isn't there a pigtail that you can plug into the?
Oh, maybe.
I thought there was some pigtail.
Yeah,
that you
I know
plug
in the beginning people were like hacking the stuff off the little motor and like faking it out, you know. So, you know what else works great? A piece of black electrical tape.
Oh, yeah.
on the dash. On the dash.
On the dash.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get to
Excellent.
it.
Okay, so we're finally to the point where I've secured the Jeep. This is what it looks like. It's pretty clean.
Beautiful.
Pretty clean. And in addition to being pretty clean, it's got a clean title, which if you're going to buy a used Jeep, that's important to you. Make sure that's the case. This is a perfect running. It is high miles, but you know, straight, rust free, pretty good.
It looks done already.
Looks done already. And I got it for $3,500
That's
Not
a
bad.
deal. That's
from
a deal.
our buddy Sergeant Jeep
Nice.
yeah.
out there in the Mojave Desert. So you can find him on Instagram.
Oh, one more question. Do
Sure.
the old armrests fit on the new doors?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what Andrew did to kind of work his way through. So, and then we're going to get right into the budget that we actually have built for this Jeep. Talk to you guys about what parts we're going to get and why we're getting them. And then, you know, you can have fun following along, or you can just say we're crazy and do your own thing anyways. All right? Okay, so here we go.
Okay, so before I talk about that picture, I think another thing that most people need to ask themselves is if they are wanting to go down this path, maybe you haven't already bought the TJ or whatever, you know, a Jeep you want to start with. I obviously started with an LJ, and so everything that we're going to talk about today will transfer over into an LJ as well. So
Yeah, even a YJ.
or even a YJ.
Right.
So, you know, I bought a Rubicon originally because there was about a $4,000 delta between a Sport and a Rubicon 12 years ago. Nowadays, I think that delta's gotten a little bit bigger. Obviously, Tony got a pretty smoking deal from our buddy Tommy, $3,500 is low. So we can all agree that that's
That was a deal.
that's a deal.
You know, five's probably $5-6 grand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
starting to see TJs, clean TJs. I mean, not with a gang of miles. You know, they're still pulling like $8,500 to $12,000.
Yeah.
So there is still a pretty good chunk of change. I guess the reason I brought that up is always keep in mind with the things that we're talking about today. You know, what axles you want to throw in there, transfer case or slip yoke eliminator. Is buying the Rubicon going to pan out in the end? For me, it did. So we're going to look at it from a number of different perspectives, but let's get into this because ultimately, as you guys can probably all see, that's my Jeep back in the day on the left. That's a much bigger tire than stock, and then that's our buddy John Stravino's bone stock LJ right next to mine. And there's really not much height difference. All the difference, all the height difference is really truly in underneath the diff and underneath the skid plate, and that's truly what matters most. So on the left, again, that is my LJ Rubicon. Nothing done to the suspension. It's on 37s, and those are our Highline fenders. It does have a 1-inch body lift because I needed that tummy tuck, our belly up system.
Yep, you ready to go to
So
the next one?
yeah, so let's.
Because I know we've got more.
Yeah. So yeah, again, there's my Jeep.
yours.
Got the carbon wrap.
Yeah, when I first bought it, it's just crazy. That thing had 65,000 original miles. It was a Rubicon, original owner. Dude, I paid $15,300 for it. That Jeep today would be 25 grand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you know, everybody should keep in mind like that rack and stuff.
Yeah.
You weren't using it, but you sold it off. It's all worth money.
I got $700.
Right.
I got $700 for it.
Right.
Big market for those wheels too. A lot of people like
Yep.
those stock factory style wheels.
Yeah. So buying a Rubicon, there are a lot of things that I was thinking about. I knew the axles were worth $3,500. I knew the transfer case was worth $1,500. Now I think guys are getting like $2,000 for them. So
That's crazy.
So those were all things that I had in my back pocket. That when I got closer to having most of my parts, and I was ready to like tear the Jeep down and not be able to drive it, that boom, I was gonna get good cash for the axles, good cash for the transfer case. So yeah.
More than you would just the other stuff that would come in a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's gonna pay anything for a Dana 35. No one's gonna pay anything for a 30 front.
Right.
No one's gonna pay anything for a 231 transfer case.
Right.
No.
If it's got a slip yoke eliminator on it, you're gonna pay for the slip yoke eliminator, and everything else is free.
Right.
So,
Right.
so yeah, definitely a ton to think about when purchasing the vehicle. But yeah, if you already have it, you already have a sport. We're gonna get into that. So there's plenty of options. Before the show, we're talking about, you know, hey, maybe get JK axles, maybe get JL axles, or maybe go find a Rubicon 44. So we'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah.
So let's blow through these.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, the other things I really wanted to think about was the Jeep was clean. I really wanted to protect it. I wanted to preserve it because I knew I ultimately, this budget build of mine was going to turn into something great. It was going to turn into a GenRight build. So I wanted to protect my investment. I did the corner guards. I did the rocker guards. Those two things, honestly, were the only things I really had to sell off. And, you know, whatever, I lost a little bit of money on that.
But the good news was the bolt pattern was the same.
The bolt pattern was the same.
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
the tracer corners went right over that when I was done.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
what do we got?
so
and then you did these.
yeah, so with the belly up system, the reason why I didn't want to even look at suspension was A, it was going to go in the trash in a couple years, but B, when you raise the Jeep up, you're not raising the axles out of the ground. So my thought was, how can I get the axles out of the ground and the belly pan out of the ground? I'm going to put the biggest freaking tire I can get on there, and I'm going to tuck the belly. And so the belly pan from the factory was like 9.5 inches off the ground.
Yeah, there's
It
a
was
picture.
Absolute shovel. This brings it up 3 inches, and then going from a 30-inch tire to a 37-inch tire. I mean, boom! All of a sudden, I have 16 inches of belly pan clearance, without touching the suspension.
Yeah.
I hate body lifts, so it's awesome that we sell weld-on body mounts. So you're
They're
getting
heavier duty,
they're
yeah.
heavier duty than stock. They raise the body without putting the hokey spacers on there that can flex and twist and ultimately destroy the factory welded on body mount.
And also, these are a little bit more high clearance too. Like the factory body mount is like down here.
Yeah.
So you're gaining a little bit of ground clearance because a lot of times, especially on my YJ, I was tagging this rear one and this middle one all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, raising that up an inch really helps.
Yeah, and since they're thicker, even if you do tag
Exactly,
them,
it's
they're not
fine.
going to just
Yeah.
fold. Okay.
So yeah, another shot. So one other thing to consider, like I was considering, is that belly pan was going to stay with my Jeep when I went to the Legend suspension because all of our brackets technically locate off of it. The front 3-link brackets just butt right up to the front of it, and the rear 4-link brackets butt right up to the back of it. And yeah, so that skid plate, once that thing was on there, it was going to live there for eternity.
Super Duper Garage says that LJ never came with a Dana 35. Andrew, come on.
No, I know. I'm talking to those TJ owners out there.
Peasants.
The peasants.
So I think it's important to note that you have to raise the engine and the transmission.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta do the 1 inch.
1 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you have to lift the body 1 inch so that you can bring this whole
The belly
transfer
up.
case
Yeah.
belly
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to show those parts.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So a lot of people need to, get over that body lift hurdle. You're only raising the motor, the drivetrain, and the body 1 inch, so that you can gain 3 inches of belly pan clearance.
Yeah.
That is
Totally worth it.
totally worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This was after they were installed.
Yeah. So look again, factory Rubicon spring. Look how much room there is.
It looks like you put a lift kit on.
I didn't touch the
Yeah,
suspension.
right.
That is our fender and our corner guards. So
Oh.
with a little bit of trimming on the corner guards, that's all. A little bit of trimming. That's all I had to do to put the 37 in there. And yeah, the factory flare just hangs down so much. You got to
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
out. Yeah, you
Thickness.
got to get it
Yeah.
out of your head that the first thing you should do is buy a lift kit. That is the last thing I want you to think about right now. The first thing to think about is getting those wheel wells open so you can get that bigger tire on there. Then we can discuss, okay, am I upgrading the axles? And then, is there anything that I can do with the suspension just to preserve it? And we'll get into that.
Because the key is you want to keep the rig low,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
center of gravity, keep it down, so you don't want this huge lift kit just to clear 35s or
Yeah.
something,
Right.
When it messes up your geometry.
Yeah, that's just gonna
Aside-
ride bad.
It's gonna ride bad. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, back in the day, like 2000, they were like, oh yeah, you want to run a 35, like you need to run a
Oh, you
8-inch
need a-
lift
you need
kit,
a-
a 6-inch
yeah,
lift kit,
literally,
and it's
literally.
like,
Well, it's because
4-inch
everything was
lift.
steel, so you actually only got like a 6-inch lift,
Yeah,
out of all that
exactly.
stuff. So, okay.
All right, so here's a lot of the proof. Okay,
Yep.
bone stock LJ measured at the gap between the hard top and the tub. Bone stock 41 inches.
Yep.
My Jeep again 37s. I got 7.5 more inches of belly pan clearance, but the Jeep in itself is only 4 inches taller. So a lot of times when I met up with friends, my Jeep sat lower, had the same belly pan clearance, but had more axle clearance. So it was, everything you can ask for. Even if they already had a different belly pan, I still had the same belly pan clearance, but they were on a 35. So I'm 1 inch out of the ground on the diff, and the body is inches lower. So dude,
Drivability.
I miss that Jeep.
Yeah.
It's still my Jeep, but I miss that stage because, again, no lift. The links were flat. The thing drove beautifully. All the stock geometry's there. Eventually, I just had to beef up the control arms and the track bar, whatever. But dude, that thing drove 90 down the freeway straight as an arrow,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you're gonna do something very minimal, that's exactly the way
Yeah.
to do it.
yeah.
You're
I'm gonna
not
do it
you're not
again.
messing with. You're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it
Oh,
again.
yellow.
No, I'm gonna go buy another LJ.
Yeah?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay.
So, and as far as just drivability, dude, a 37-inch tire with our 4-inch flare. Now, granted, I have an 1.25 wheel spacer on there, only because I wanted to change my bolt pattern. That's a 4 3/4 backspace trail ready wheel on an 1.25 adapter, so it put me at a total of 3.5 inches of backspacing. You get plenty of tire coverage. That should be more than adequate for most states. I get there's states where they pour water on the fender.
Entire tire. Yeah.
A 6-inch fender would totally take care of that. So drivability, daily drivability, man, it is it was incredible. So-
And you weren't going to have to rebuy wheels when you upgraded.
that's true. Yep.
Yeah.
So I kept the same wheel, that 5-on-5.5, that CJ bolt pattern, had the right hub bore center. So to go from my Dana 44s to my Curry 70s, unbolt, bolt on, just take this hokey spacer out.
Yep.
And whatever, man. Like check your lugs. They were never an issue. I wouldn't like suggest it, but man, to try to sell beadlocks aftermarket, you're going to get 30 cents on the dollar. So to sell some $100 spacers from Spider Tracks,
Yeah.
it was seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah, and if you get a wheel spacer, get a quality one. Don't get some Amazon.
No eBay.
yeah,
like
no
eBay.
No, it's got to
Yeah.
be the Spider Tracks.
Spider
Those
Tracks,
are the
yeah,
good ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hub centric and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So after you do the body lift and raise the drivetrain up. This is a great shot from inside. I don't know if we have good photos like this on the website, but the belly pan's reinforced. You see that welded gusset that goes all the way across the belly pan. It's stout. It's at least quarter-inch thick. Or was it 3/8 thick? Our belly pans.
Quarter-inch. Yeah.
Quarter-inch. And then our universal transmission cross member. Factory cats. Again, all stuff. Especially guys here in California, other states that have smog. Those cats are. You got to have all that
Much
stuff.
And
needed.
they need to be in the original position.
They got to be in the original
Yeah.
position. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay.
All right, so there's the shovel underneath. So there's the belly pan. So that again. So I was driving home from an event, and the sun was low. I'm on the freeway, and the shadow of that stupid shovel was this big on going across the ground, and that's when I was like, no, I got to get rid of that. So that's going to be your biggest hang up. I'm telling you right now that
Well, especially on the longer wheelbase, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but whether it's
even
a TJ
in a
or not,
TJ, yeah.
it's terrible.
They're
So
terrible.
so
And they scoop up the dirt just like a
Yep.
shovel.
Yeah.
and they're not strong.
No.
No.
I mean, they have all the ribs in them to give them some strength, but every time you hit that skid plate, you are literally hitting the drivetrain also.
That's right, because it's
Yeah.
mounted to that. Yeah.
So
So I think that's an important piece. Is the way we did it was it's a separate mount for the
Yep.
drive
To the
line,
frame.
and the skid plate can get
yep.
you can take it off,
Yep.
and drive
Yeah.
around.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's beef.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you want to avoid these gnarly changes of, dimension.
Yeah, yeah.
Gnarly angles.
It's a hook on the front. It's a hook on the back. Bunch of hooks in the middle.
Yeah.
Flimsy.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a good side by side of our belly up system versus the original,
Look
and
at that.
That thing was so
Dude.
sick.
honestly,
You
like
should build another
without the lift, those short arms being flat, the thing worked great, and
Yeah.
there's nothing to get hung up on. The Jeep always surpassed my expectations when I was out in it. Again, that's not like ready for hammers, but dude, Big Bear, all the other.
Yeah, you already had the 4-to-1 transfer
Yep.
case, right? So that kind of offset having the bigger tires.
Yeah.
Right? There was a lot of things about starting with the Rubicon that
Yeah.
really worked out
The
good.
stronger axles.
You
of
didn't
course.
re-gear when you had this
Uh,
phase, did
at
you?
first, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 37 on the 410. The only reason why I didn't re-gear was because I had the 6-speed manual. I have a 4.6 to 1 first gear,
Yeah.
and it was actually fine. Reverse sucked a little bit, but
Yeah.
honestly, that thing was at a low RPM at 80 miles an hour down the freeway, 90 miles an hour down the freeway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
I actually regretted re-gearing it because I lost all that top end
end.
speed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it is what it
That's
is.
all right.
Yeah, being a manual guy also starting off from a stop in first.
That's
the manual guys and the automatic guys.
So
starting off from a stop when you don't have a low first gear like you did in that 6-speed, it's hard on the vehicle, on the clutch
Yeah.
when you're not
Yeah.
re-geared.
Yeah. Then you
You're
get in
just
traffic
struggling.
and you're
Yeah,
just-
exactly.
Then
Yeah.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
But you have like a 30 mile an hour first gear or
Yeah.
something.
All right. Out on the trail.
Yeah, so that's up a bigger. Again, nothing done to the suspension. I eventually upgraded the steering components. It took a few years, but the 37s really did destroy the factory control arms and the factory track bar. So, I had to do something. I had to do some preventative maintenance, and called our friends over at Curry, now Rock Jock 4x4. got some control. Only to the front, left the rears the way they were, and I was super happy with it. Got the the Curry Anti Rock. That was necessary because of how low the thing sat. The 37s would just. They would get into that factory sway bar bends way out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would literally stop the Jeep. It was that bad.
Yeah,
So
and it was up on top, right?
Yeah.
Like that the factory sway bar.
yeah, so that was huge. And the Jeep, I mean, it flexed well. Again, always very, very happy with it.
Yeah, you maintain that factory ride, so it's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, out at High Desert Roundup, just another wheeling shot. Again, you can see the the tubular control arms now. That's from Curry, but yeah, I mean the thing always performed well. Having lockers, and again, this is stuff we can get into with the budget build. Dude, a set of lockers. I mean, you're gonna go a lot of places.
Yeah.
So let's keep blasting through these.
Okay, I think this is the last of it. So
Okay.
now we're
Just
one more.
Yeah, more.
Okay, must be a different time because you're back on ATs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool.
So now we're to, and we have a copy here of the budget that we're going to be talking about. And behind this, we're going to show you all the parts that support this budget. And I think Jamie loaded this up on the Tech Talk page. So if you're interested in downloading that, you can download that and follow along or build your own or whatever. Okay. So the first thing we put on the budget for the TJ that I got was to go get a TJ Rubicon front axle.
Nice.
Obviously, that's going to give me 4, 10, or 11
Yep.
gears, a locker, right? It's
Yep.
going to give me a few things. Now that leaves me stranded in the back. That means I got to do something in the back, right? So, or like you guys were talking about,
JK axles, JL axles.
Yeah,
the JL
get 'em out of
axles are.
Rubicon. Yeah.
So what you gain with those axles is they're actually wider
The
also.
width, yeah.
So the stock TJYJ axles, LJ axles are 60-inch wide. The JKs are 65. The JLs are 68 and 3/4 or something, right? Like they're pretty wide.
Pretty wide.
So
yeah.
if you could stay low and wide, that's the goal.
So so back to what Andrew was saying. The reason he did it was he was able to put the wheel spacer and buy the 17-inch wheels drilled to 5 on 5.5. If you go with the wider axles, you're already wide and you can't really put spacers and like you're getting too wide.
Yeah.
So if your goal is to go with like a Curry eventually or something, 1 ton something, then you might want to where you have the ability to just stay with the regular axles. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. So that was first on my list. Here was the picture of some JK or JL axles. Those look like JK. And then of course once you get a used axle, the brakes are probably toast. I have no idea what kind of condition the brakes are on this vehicle that I got. It's high miles. I'm going to assume they're toast. And I'm just going to throw new rotors.
And you're also going with a bigger. You're probably going with like a 35.
35.
Yeah. So having better stopping power, and that was something that driving my Jeep, the change, at least getting new pads was it made a tremendous difference. And I loved how much it still had really good bite. Just even changing just the pads to something like R1.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if you're buying something used that you don't know where it came from, you don't know who owned it,
Oh, it's sketchy, yeah.
pads and rotors,
Yeah.
like immediately, right?
brakes
You
are important.
Yeah, I mean that's a saving grace in any bad situation. So
Yeah.
And to go with the R1s is just a little more than the stuff you buy at the auto parts store.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, and then also like sometimes when you buy a older TJ or a YJ, it'll come with drum brakes in the rear. So that's a good reason to axle swap also to like a TJ axle or
Update the brakes.
any axle
Yeah.
with disc brakes on
Yeah.
it. So
And that's what I did on my budget YJ.
exactly.
I
So
got
yeah, you had a
TJ.
great brake setup on that thing.
Yeah.
All right. This is what Andrew was talking about. It's next on my list. The high fenders
Yep.
might be kind of hard to see because it's white on white here. But yeah, do the aluminum high fenders. Opens up the wheel wells an additional 3 inches. So it is effectively like you just put on a 3-inch lift.
Yeah.
It's even better than that because when you go to just a tube fender in general, there's 1 3/4 inches. And then you go to a high fender, it's 3 more inches.
Yeah.
So that wheel well opening from the stock plastic flare is closer to 5. It's 4 and
Well,
4
and
and a
then you
half.
put a 1-inch body lift,
Yep.
right?
So mathematically, I was
Yeah.
like, a 37 should fit because we always advertise 35s no lift with the high fenders. I'm like, I remember talking to you 10 years ago and saying, hey, wouldn't it make sense if I put a 1-inch body lift, I could throw a 37 on there? Like, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
Well,
You
it'll-
don't have to extend your bump stop either.
no, I
Yeah.
left all that,
Exactly.
all that the same.
Yeah.
I got
clearance now.
You know, I got some Bilstein shocks eventually that were just OEM drop-in Bilsteins, and yeah, I mean it was great. Everything about
Wow, you really missed that thing.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was great. I love it.
so
It's like
great.
talking
he's
about an
crying.
old girlfriend.
I
You're
know.
like, man, she was awesome.
But it'll set you up. It'll set you up down the road too.
Yeah.
If your goal is to, right, it goes back to the wheel thing,
Definitely.
right? Don't have to buy wheels twice. Don't have to buy fenders
Yeah.
twice. You already have the high fenders.
I
You already
have the same fenders today as
Yeah.
I did 11 years
so
ago.
you're already set up for the 40s.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
And then when it comes to corner guards, you know, we always talk about put them on before you damage it.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
to me, that's like first on the list. Plus, when I go to mount the fenders,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I'm just going to drill and tap those. I don't put nuts on the back. I just thread them on and done.
yep.
So get the protection. Down the road, if I want to stretch it or do something else, you just pull those off, sell them, and put something else.
Yeah, I think there's a good market for aftermarket fenders and corner guards for Jeep guys or bumpers. You know, everyone's always buying that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, next we got, okay, so you could reuse the factory tail lights, but because we're GenRight, I'm going to put on some of our tail lights. The little brighter LED.
Yeah.
I have no condition, I have no idea what the condition is of the factory lights that are on there. A lot of the time the wirings, or they're smashed or whatever, so
Yeah.
I put this on my list.
And they get hit also when
Yeah.
you're like they have a lip on them
They
and
just
they always
stick
get
out.
tagged.
Yeah. So this is much tighter. Rockers. Okay, same as the corner guards, but maybe even more important.
Yep.
Do not damage that factory
Yeah.
sheet metal, or you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
If you pick one up that already has the damage, this is a great way to cover it.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
also,
But don't be the guy that puts the damage there without a rocker.
get the rockers. Again, you know, we're kind of giving you the roadmap. What we want to see you do is do it right based on what we're recommending before you damage the stuff.
Yeah.
So these rockers will really protect it. The inch and 3/4 tube on it is thick wall. It'll keep you away from the stuff out on the trail. You get a dimple die step on there, so it's easier to get in and out. Just good all around protection.
Yeah.
We do sell one that's a mini boat side, but I'm not recommending it for this stage. This
Right.
is probably
It's a little
fine.
more involved.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I started with our standard LJ rockers because I didn't want to cut anything, and I just, you know, they're a little bit cheaper. So when I did the tracer, I was like, all right, now it's time to step up. Honestly, I didn't want to bend in my tub
Right.
for the mini boat
Yeah.
sides, but obviously I got over that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the mini boat sides are great, higher clearance.
While we're on rockers, something that I learned with my Jeep. So I bought a '93 YJ a couple years ago.
It's a budget build.
It's a budget build, different kind of budget build. But the Jeep I bought was semi-built. I'm gonna say it was probably almost along the lines of
Yeah, it had
of-
lockers,
It had
it
lockers.
had
It had a
sliders
slightly
of something,
updated front
yeah.
axle or upgraded front axle.
35s.
But something I learned buying that Jeep is I went down with Arnold to look at it. We did a full walk around on it, right? Looked at it. We
mint.
looked at it was mint. We
Mint.
looked at everything we could have looked at, right? And we know what we're looking at for the most part. It had rock sliders on it. What they were, I don't know. But the guy that put them on covered a bunch of damage to the tub with those rock sliders. So if I had to make a suggestion, try to find something that doesn't have rock sliders. Again, unless you know what's behind the rock slider, or if you can get under it to see and make sure the tub
Yeah.
isn't damaged.
For the most part, the stocker the better. For if you're
Yeah.
buying, if you're
Like
If you're
the one?
buying it
Exactly.
to, if you're buying it to build it, yeah, the stocker the better.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned that. Another thing that I wanted to mention earlier when we were talking about body mounts is, again, going back to, we didn't quite look hard enough at my Jeep.
it was also at night though.
It was,
Just
yeah.
saying, just saying.
It was like
You never
9.
buy a
It
car
was
at
like
night.
I know, yeah. You know who you're talking to. You know who
He
you're talking
messaged
to?
the guy at like
Better,
4,
dude.
and he was driving home with it at like 6.
One last thing I wanted to mention, kind of in the rocker area, I wanted to mention it. We were talking about body mounts. The body mounts on my Jeep also were almost completely broken out of the tub. So when you are looking at your Jeep, if you're gonna be buying a project, right? Please look at the body mount area. All 3 body mounts on each side under my Jeep, under the tub, behind the rocker guard, were almost all the way cracked out of the tub. So
were they smashed? Like they've been hit?
they were broken
like
in a way
one
that I've
was.
never thought would be possible.
No, like
They
out
were-
of the tub, like the nut
like-
that was the
but
trap.
did it
like-
rust out or it got
No.
pulled out?
It
It
got,
was
like,
not rusted.
yeah.
It was.
Maybe the Jeep was jumped.
I don't know. It literally, I think it in when I was taking it apart, all of the bolts were loose. So I think it was a combination of a lot of things. But I had to re-weld the section of tub under the body mounts
No,
back in.
literally.
So
I have
and
seen
then
that
going
video
back,
on YouTube
and
where
it lands on the pad.
they pull a Jeep out and the body goes and the rest of it
Yeah,
stays.
yeah,
That
yeah.
would have been yours.
yeah, but I've literally never heard of a Jeep tub body mount being cracked out of the tub. I'd never seen it
I think it's
until
a
mine.
YJ thing. Like
I don't know.
had 1 or 2 of those, and I had to fix them too.
Yeah,
but
and it
was
wasn't
not-
it wasn't like rust damage, you know. It wasn't like
Yeah, we're
it was
in
just rusted
California
out.
here.
Yeah, it was abused to a point where I've never seen.
Okay.
So just keep an eye on that if
Okay.
you're going to be buying a project.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right. This is the skid plate again that we were talking about on Andrews. Huge upgrade to get more ground clearance. And then this is the kit that holds the whole drive line. So now you could take off the skid plate to even service everything you've got. Right now you can't even do that if you've got a stock
Yeah.
unit there. So this is a nice upgrade too, and it's universal and it fits a lot of things, and we made it like that so it gets around the exhaust and the drive shaft. If you try and do one straight, you're in for a whole nother surprise. And then here's the body lift, like you were talking about, the puck style. So they're pretty simple to put in, and you can run it like this, and then down the road replace the center body mounts with our heavy duty ones. Okay, and then the motor lift looks like this, which is actually pretty nice. On an old Jeep like I bought, those motor mounts are probably toast, right? They're just rubber. They're probably done. Were yours done?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Mine were
these
beyond
are
done.
heavy duty urethane. It will add a little bit of vibration to the feel of the Jeep because it's stiffer, but it's not going to break.
They're way more heavy
They're
duty.
way more.
Yeah.
I've seen a guy break his stock motor mount on a hill once. He was like kind of bouncing a little bit, and then the whole drivetrain just.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it was all hanging.
Yeah.
Not good.
Okay, since I didn't buy a Rubicon, I've got to put this slip yoke eliminator on. And by the way, this is a nice upgrade. The factory slip yoke thing, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
It just doesn't have enough travel for the.
It doesn't,
It's not
but
heavy
that
duty
now that
enough.
you've lifted it and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a 32 spline. They have those ones they call the hack and tap. Do not do that. This is all of $285.
Yeah.
So well worth it. I mean, this thing here is probably $50-$60 by itself. So, and then you're going to get inside the transfer case and see what you got, right? So directions are good. You do need a couple specialty pliers to get these snap rings off, and then you're going to put on a brand new heavy duty drive shaft. You're going to throw your old one away and get something with a CV on it, so that that's going to run at a higher angle and smooth down the highway, and you'll thank me later. It's totally worth it. So.
Yeah, and like you said, good time to go through your transfer case too.
Look at it.
Transmission,
Yeah.
Just look at
Yeah.
everything.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, everything.
You never know what you're going to find
That's
in
right.
there.
You never know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, front bumper. I'm going to go with a very simple bumper that's high clearance and allows me to put a winch on the front. Okay, you can add bars and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but I'm going to start with this. These tow points will allow you to flat tow it behind a truck or a RV. So if that's part of what you're building it for, that's a great option as well.
Yeah, and like if you're building a budget, you probably won't buy a winch right away. You'll probably wait on that, but you have the D-ring mounts. Your buddy Wheel with a buddy. Your
That's
buddy
right.
can
Yeah.
pull you out.
Yeah.
Or break out your high lift jack and you can use that
Oh,
thing as a
man.
winch, So there's
Worst
not much
case
time.
Time you
scenario.
got.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm putting on the low cost VR series from Warren. Still a great product. And by the way, I believe in the wired version.
Yes.
Don't forget that
Yes.
wireless stuff.
Don't get the
Yeah.
wireless stuff.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want to charge
Wire.
your winch remote. It doesn't need to be Bluetooth. It doesn't
You don't need the app.
No, you don't need the app.
You don't need the app.
Wait, it's connecting.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta update my winch.
Oh, my phone died.
Yeah, exactly. No,
So,
wired.
yeah, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the rear bumper, I'm going to opt for the one with the step and a little receiver hitch. Great for carrying a bike rack and other things. We do not recommend that you tow with it. There are no hooks for the chains. Yeah. But
I missed
can
that.
tell you
Do that
this,
again.
I can tell you this.
What?
You know,
Do that again. I missed it.
A boat?
The reason we don't say tow is because it's a liability and it's a whole nother level of insurance and everything. But here's what I can tell you. If you weld on all the brackets we give you, the entire back part of your frame will come off before this bumper does. This thing is beat.
Yep.
So I put it on the budget YJ. It was worth every penny. And it's just super nice. You get toe points again that are super beefy. So all around,
it's a nice bumper.
a good investment.
Good grade A hardware.
Okay, so in my budget, I put a pair of JE Reel drive shafts. They'll both be CV style, so it'll run nice and smooth down the highway. I'm going to do 1350. 1310, not 1350 like we normally do. So a little more cost effective.
Sure.
Okay. And then I'm going to upgrade the steering. So Curry or Rock Jock now makes what they call their correct steering, and part of the reason I'm going with it is you can see the size of the stock and you can see the size of theirs. And I know theirs is made out of chromoly. I have no idea what kind of pot metal this one is.
Yeah.
So I got something to say about, because I eventually ran the correct length on my Jeep. They recommend that it's for a 2-inch and higher lift. I didn't have a lift, and I'm like, there's got to be a reason. I guess I'll figure it out when I get there. So you can see how the end has a little more bend. So it was at ride height. It was maxed out. So if I hit a bump, it was just gonna tear it up. So I was like, oh man, this is like I have to do something now. So my brother lent me his torch. I got that Pitman arm cherry red, and I did a reverse twist on it, quenched it, put that thing back
On the Pitman arm.
on the Pitman arm. So it actually, our twisted Pitman arm twists down to look at the axle. I had to twist it to point up to neutralize, and so that worked out. That worked out pretty good.
It works out because it's a Y-link, not a...
Yeah.
because it's connected to the pit arm.
Yep.
So yes, it will work.
My dad's run that steering too. It's good steering.
It is.
It's good
Never
steering.
had an issue.
Yeah,
It's great.
I mean, if you're not going to do our full
Right.
setup, right, this is the next best
Yeah.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And it's reasonably cost effective. So, what's next? A cage.
Cage.
Yeah.
Yes, which you did early on as well.
100%.
Even though you didn't have 40s and big axles and all that stuff, still.
Driving it daily, man. I mean, really, you feel the difference just pulling out of a parking spot. The Jeep feels so much more just rigid. The chassis and the body feels so much more solid. And again, I've been through 2 cages. So the first one, I had no options on it. My son was just born, and so I just wanted it easy. But I put the car seat back there. As he grew up, I quickly realized, hey, I'm getting closer to actually building this thing. And we've had customers roll their Jeeps, and I'm like, you know what? I want those options. And we just came out with the aluminum roof. So I did an about face. I sold my original cage, and I did the aluminum roof, the windshield V-bar, the X-bar, the harness bar, the behind-the-seat crossbar. I did everything. Yeah. And I would never, ever look back and think I did the wrong thing. It is my favorite thing about my Jeep is that roll cage.
Yeah. Definitely. I put a cage in when I was on 35s also, just because, you're kind of pushing the limits of your Jeep every trip, and you want that protection.
Yeah.
Well, for Jordan and I, you're preaching to the choir. We've gone over, and that cage is what saved us.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah. So that's all part of my first budget build and keeps me under 15 grand.
Nice.
Okay. So you guys again can see that. You can download it, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a lot of parts, to get you in that range.
And
Now,
like you could do it like a little cheaper too. Like you could
not do the taillights.
not do the taillights. You don't have to do the corner guards right away, but you're gonna scratch your stuff maybe. Definitely need rockers. You don't need the winch. You don't have to get bead locks. You could get Steelies to start with,
That's
or,
right.
or run factory style
Factory
wheels
style
or something
wheels,
like that.
and just put
There's
a bigger tire.
there's little things to
You could save on.
you money here
Yeah.
and there, a few $1,000s probably.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe the Jeep you buy already has 35s on
Yeah,
it. Just
like yours
Yeah.
at 33s. I'd probably if
Yeah.
I got that Jeep, I'd probably run them till they got kind of bald and then
and
get
then
something else.
change. Yeah.
Swap it.
Well, and I put down getting Raceline 15-inch wheels, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe I need to rethink that and get wheel spacers and go to 17s. So
Yeah.
obviously there's options.
There's options,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Because at the end of the day, the 15 costs the same as the 17.
right,
Yeah.
So
right. So yeah, and I'm not putting on a full bead lock. This is just a bead look.
yeah,
But
but
whatever.
that's okay for what it is.
Yeah,
That's
it,
okay.
it gives me the
Look.
right offset,
Yeah.
to work with. The next stages, which I don't have pictures of, is re-gearing, right? So front and rear, go to 456, 488s, whatever, depending on if I end up on a 37. Then doing, Yukon lockers, front and rear. Then doing chromoly axle shafts. Yukon actually has a whole package. I think it's $2,400. You get everything, the master install kit, the whole 9 yards. So if you're going that way, that's a great way to go. And they're the ones that guarantee it. So if you break it, they'll actually give you the replacement and pay the labor to have it
No
fixed.
way.
Yes.
Really?
Damn.
So that's a pretty
Wow.
good deal.
Wow.
So
That
yeah.
is.
Jordan's gonna need that with his 140-inch tires.
Maybe I should get that stuff.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to order like RCVs or something
Yeah.
when, down the road I'm going to move to 60s or 70s and, this thing will evolve, right? So I'm really actually getting it nicely set up for the next guy.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So off of that, all the stuff that you could buy for these, a lot of it you can find off Craigslist or Marketplace of some dude that is
Doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing, but
That's-
he's like 2 years ahead of you or
Yeah.
something.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's
So you can buy his built axles.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
you find
yeah.
a deal.
You could get a
online.
lot of that used
Oh, for
in
sure.
very good shape.
A cage. My friend just bought Devon's cage.
Yeah,
And that he
that's
was.
right.
Yeah.
So Devin, our guy that works here,
Upcycle.
just sold off these corner guards,
Yeah.
right? All
Yeah.
this stuff, right, that I could have picked up at
Yeah.
half price.
We're saving the environment, basically.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
That's-
recycle.
Yeah.
And then after you do the gears, I put down the control arms,
Yep.
just to have a little something better. And then PRP seats and harnesses. Now that you got the cage, it'd be nice to have that stuff in there.
Yeah.
So, but those aren't cheap.
No, they're
Like,
expensive.
Just those two things is almost $2,000.
Yeah.
So
But you don't want to be running harnesses with a factory seat either.
That's
Like
Yeah.
don't
Don't
yeah.
do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
The TJ seats really are hard because there's no shoulder.
Yeah.
Whereas like the JK,
They'll just fall over.
Shane's Jeep, he's got the harnesses, but the JK seats quite
it's
a
a
bit.
separate headrest.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
So,
looking at a lot of this stuff, like let's just say someone went down the path like I did with the Rubicon. I see a lot of money that doesn't have to be spent. Had you have bought a Rubicon,
Yeah.
that's
the lockers,
yep,
the what was it?
the front end, the slip yoke
The
eliminator,
axle, slip yoke eliminator,
the-
exactly.
So the drive shafts are 1330 on a Rubicon, so
Right.
they're already
there.
I ran the stock
That's
drive
right.
shafts for
Long
6
time.
years.
That's right.
And,
so good argument, that, and what I like about it is everything off your Rubicon is worth money.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? Because somebody wants it.
Yep.
Somebody
Yeah.
wants that. They're like me, or a Sport, and now they want Rubicon stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody that's trying to do this
Yes.
Yeah.
will buy that axle.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
bought my dad's bent 44 front for $700 because he wanted the locker, he wanted the shafts. It's
Right.
just the housing that was a little bent.
Yeah.
Bearings, bearings are like $200 each,
Yeah.
$150
That's
for the
right.
good ones.
That's
Yeah.
right. So even after we do the next stage of upgrades, we're still under 25 grand, which is, I know it's still a lot of money, but in the Jeep scheme of things, I'll be driving a Jeep for less than you can buy a Honda Accord,
Yeah.
right, on the Rubicon.
Yes,
And I'll be wheeling this
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, this Jeep's gonna take you places. Like a TJ, LJ, YJ on 35s can really go
Yeah,
places.
they can get around.
Yeah, you can get around.
Now you could, I know that you can find Rubicon JK 4-doors for, something near this price.
Yeah.
Once you start talking 25, 30 grand, you've got some options,
Yeah.
So, but the TJ, like the LJ, is 4 inches more narrow.
Yep.
And we make a kit to turn my TJ into an LJ, so that's eventually where I'm going, just
Yeah.
like Devin did.
Exactly.
So,
But keep in mind, I think with the JKs, if you get a JK, I've seen a lot of JKs on 37s, for example, get outwheeled by like a TJ or a YJ on 35s, just
That's
for
right.
the wheelbase. So with a JK, you'll need bigger tires, which that comes the special shafts, the chromoly shafts, the wider axles, maybe bigger axles, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
then you need our stage 1 kit
And
to
you
get
need
that
your
built.
stage 1 kit, and then you need the full elite kit,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it
We're here
requires-
for you. We're
Yeah.
here for you. We got all the fixes.
Yeah.
But these are the trade-offs, right?
Yes.
And you gotta do a little planning
Mhm.
and see what you can swing.
And I think what's important too is like you gotta ask yourself like, what do I want to do with my Jeep? Like, what kind of trails do I want to do? Because like, I don't know. For example, rock crawling, you're gonna want a few different things than if you were just doing like dirt roads or
Yeah.
like overlanding or something like that. But like, you could do all these things in stages where you don't have to do it all at the same time. Like, oh, I noticed I was scraping my belly, so boom, you do the belly upgrade, and then oh, my front bumper is bent or something, then you do the, it doesn't have to be, it could be budget, it could be
That's
slow
right.
over
That's
time,
right.
you know.
And the belly will be something that I do after I do some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Because it involves that slip yoke eliminator, the
Exactly.
drive shafts, right? I don't want to do the drive shaft till I get the 44 in the front. but
Exactly.
There's
motor,
that stuff.
The motor lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to do lockers and not regear, that like has to
Yeah.
go together.
I have one, not to throw a curveball on this whole thing, but in my mind I'm thinking about that $20,000 number and trying to stay within that, but have a vehicle that you're going to keep longer, and maybe that's going to be more interesting. If you were to do JK axles, the front end, it's really interesting. The where the coil spring sits on the axle of a TJ is off center forward of the axle tube. Or on a JK, it's off centered behind the axle tube. So a JK axle, if you leave all the brackets, will naturally give you a little bit of forward stretch also. And there's a lot of things that people don't think about. Secondly, if you were to do our coil correction kit, then we can, and our gas tank, then you can move the rear axle just a little bit back in the rear. I mean, you might get 3 or 4 inches just
That's right.
just out of
stretch,
out of and maybe even a little bit more out of the front, because you're probably going to get 1.5 inches to 2 inches of stretch because of where that axle placement is. So man, all of a sudden we could be looking at something closer to 98-inch wheelbase. I mean, that's going to perform a lot better.
Yeah.
Instead of getting that TJ 44, put that $1,900 to a set of JK axles.
There's
Yeah.
companies also that make brackets to convert them. So you cut all the JK brackets off and you
Interesting.
weld on the TJ brackets.
So you don't necessarily have to do that
I was just saying,
unless you
there's
want to keep
options.
keeping the axle in the stock location is not necessarily what I'm suggesting. I want that axle a little bit forward. So obviously we make all the parts to be able to do that. We can build our own control arms. Because we know the Johnny joints will go right into the JK brackets.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely something to think about. Maybe for another $5,000, this thing could be something that is the end of the road for somebody.
For a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
most they would ever need.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those JK axles, JL axles, you can build them out pretty gnarly. Like you can get the chromoly shafts, you get
Yeah.
the bigger brakes, you can get the
So what I'm going to do
35
is,
spline.
when I get the Jeep, I'm going to inspect the rear end, and if it's toast, then I'm not. Then I'll do the JK
Cool.
axles
Oh
probably.
yeah,
So
I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
JK axles are a good move.
yeah. So,
And everything's more beef too. The knuckles are beefier.
Yeah.
And then when you go to
The
JL, it's even
casting,
beefier too.
Yeah, the center section,
Yeah.
the tubes, yeah.
Because start thinking if you did what we used to call the stealth stretch, which we haven't talked about
And a long time to
And
get you
years.
that
Let's
100
bring it
inch.
back. Let's bring it back.
because if you're in a position to buy corner guards and rocker guards, well,
Do
now
it
you
now.
now you can do the stretch ones.
That's right.
You buy them one time, move that rear axle back. You got our gas tank because you didn't put a gas tank skid on here.
Right.
Oh.
That's important.
Yeah.
So hey,
Well, because I was thinking I'm getting a gas tank.
Yeah.
Right. So and now along that path, I'm like, well, yeah, if I'm going to stretch it, I'm going to get the comp,
Yeah.
right? Move it
Yeah.
way back.
So we have gas tanks that also allow you to have room to stretch back in addition to having more capacity. So,
That's right.
so you could preemptively buy for example, the 2053. It's a 23-gallon tank. So what's that overstock? Like 5, 6, 7 or 8?
7 inches with a 44.
Or I'm
So-
sorry,
Gallons.
Gallons
Oh,
overstock.
yeah, it's
Three
it might be 19, 17 gallons on a stock DJ.
But yeah, you're gaining a few gallons.
Yeah.
You can stretch up to 6, 7 inches.
Yeah, you're not losing anything. That's
You're not
for
losing
sure.
anything,
Yeah,
exactly.
which is
Like, if you're
normally
gonna buy
the
a gas
case.
tank,
Yeah.
then you might
And
as
then
well buy
again,
that
you're
one.
buying it once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And then with that JK axle, we got a little bit of room to outboard the rear shocks. We got the shock towers. I mean,
yeah.
I'm curious.
He's spiraling.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
is.
Well, we should build another budget
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we do like a few budgets, like
Yeah.
a 10, 20, 30,
Yeah.
80.
And
$125.
depending on where your goal is,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, I know. That's a fast.
Yeah.
So. All right, Jennings. I think we're ready for some questions.
Okay.
What time is it?
We're a little after, but let's see
It
what
was
she's
a good
got.
show. It was a good
Yeah.
show.
Well, it's a lot of
Lot
information.
was
Yeah,
covered.
it was.
Okay, there's quite a few. Michael Costin says, off topic, I decided to take a break from the road. I'm working for my buddy at Green's Classic Customs now, and one of the vehicles we're restoring is a 1946 Jeep. Rick Turner asked, is the TJ a 4.0? Manual automatic, not a Rubicon, right?
It is a 4.0 automatic.
Your TJ?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
JC Cologne said, just bought a shirt. Stage 1 did awesome at Windrock last week.
Nice.
Nice.
Jerome Balky asked, is there a way to fix the speedo on a 2006 TJ automatic with 4.0 when going to bigger tires?
Yes.
You need to get a gear, right?
Yeah.
A gear for the
a
transfer
little gear
case.
set. It has
It's
a
the
range.
old school way. There was no
Yeah.
computer then. You
Yeah.
had to
Yeah, but it's
actually.
super easy.
It is easy. It's held
Advanced
in with
Adapter
one
sells
bolt.
them. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody sells them. There's the speedo cap where the sensor goes in. It pulls out, and then it's oblong or eccentric, I should say. And so when you put the new gear in there, you have to twist it until you feel it engage. Otherwise, the speedo won't work. And
That's
yeah.
why mine didn't work at first, and then I realized I had to clock it.
Oh, it was
yeah.
off a little?
Yeah, like it didn't work. No, like it, like
And you just,
No,
you
no,
just
but
turn
the
it
gear
until
was
it-
off. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
it feels
yeah.
some
Keep
pressure.
moving it.
Yeah.
Patrick said, I sold my front and rear LJ Rubicon 44 axles for $5K for the pair.
Damn,
That's wild.
that guy who bought them.
That's
is,
wild.
Well, at least they knew they were out of a clean Jeep. you
They
know?
were.
That's
Yeah.
true.
David Bartlett said, I have an 06 LJ with JK Dynatrac Pro Rock 44 on the front and JK Dana 44 on rear. Have recently installed a big brake kit on the front and feel that the master cylinder and booster are not enough.
Yeah,
that is
you-
the problem with changing out. A lot of the guys with the 1 tons are going to like these bigger brakes. It's not proportioned to the factory stuff. So
The
that's why we
master.
like working with R1, Alcon. These guys, they pay attention to what's actually in the Jeep. So
Yeah.
I've heard on this that like the J8 Master is back available. It was on national back order for like 10 years or something. It's back.
What kind of Jeep was it? Was it a JK?
Well, the JK
yeah.
actually's got an LJ.
LJ with
Dynatrac.
JK
Okay, so
axles.
think about this. Your booster's 20 years old, right? It's got
Yeah,
rubber
just
inside
start
there.
with a fresh one
Yeah,
at first.
That's
Yeah,
where I'd
yeah,
start. And there's a stupid little plastic valve right on the outside that they
For
go
the
bad.
vacuum.
And then your hose that goes over to the manifold. Have you looked at that? It might be cracked and sucking air, and there goes half your
Vacuum.
vacuum.
leak. Yeah. Vacuum
So
leak.
I would check all that
Yeah.
before I did anything else.
And then if those don't fix it, you could get that. Willwood makes a proportioning valve that you remove that block, that factory block, and then you can just kind of
Yeah.
adjust the rear.
Adjust it by hand.
Yeah.
A
So
few
try
options.
that stuff.
Robert Fisher asked, where's the sleeveless merch, guys?
Sleeveless.
Sleeveless.
It's
like-
coming. It's probably just not up. It's all the stuff Jamie dropped off.
Yeah, Jamie's the guy to ask.
What, like tank tops?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
That means?
Yeah, he
Crop
wants.
tops for you.
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking belly button tee?
Yes,
that kinda
crop tops for
size.
men.
Nothing that
Yes.
says scissors can't take care of.
Okay.
I was like, ready
And nobody wants to see that.
No way.
Kyle Jackson said, I hate the shovel on my Jeep.
Yeah.
We do too.
Michael Caudle asked, what did you have to do with the muffler to get the cross member in?
So my, we're probably talking about the photo underneath my Jeep.
Probably.
The factory muffler was still in there. That thing got so caved in. But the cat, I did have to cheat the cat forward like 2 inches. So
Yeah, you can't go radical on that,
Yeah.
or the smog place will snag
Yeah.
you. So
It just has to like really look factory. Like it can't be all
Yeah.
like, you know, some crazy high performance cat that's all like tricked and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? Say no stainless.
Yeah.
It's gonna look too
Put
too
something in that looks
flashy.
old.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz Overlander says, I have a JL diesel and do understand that your Elite suspension doesn't work on the diesel. Should I focus on the Elite steering system or just save for 1-ton axles, moderate off-roading on 37s?
That's a JL.
yeah.
Yeah, JL, diesel.
We only have the EXS for the JL.
but non-diesel, right?
Yeah.
392
So
V6.
the stage 1 that we will be coming out with for the JL, we could kind of see if it works for the diesel, but I know there's like a def tank in the way that's in the back where our gas tank is going to go.
Yeah.
There's a few limitations. I think the demand right now isn't enough for the diesels. Yeah, delete the diesel. That'd be cool. But
yeah.
but that's, I don't know if that's an option for a lot of people, unfortunately, especially in Cali.
But the steering will work.
The steering should work,
Yeah.
yes, with a 2-inch or more lift. Yeah.
Heaven Guard says, hey Tony, if you need a PCM for the TJ, I have one that's for the automatic.
Oh, good to know.
Jeep Her Ginger says, I'm selling my GenRight LJ corner guards.
Oh, there you go. See, people are already
For
cross
sale. There's a whole classifieds ad going on in the comments right now. Hey man, I'm selling a Rubicon front.
How much?
Yeah.
Jarrett Seaford said, honestly, love my rockers. Helped hide damage that was there, and they're extremely strong. Kyle Jackson said, I just did my mini boat sides and corners. Road King Robert asked, how does the aluminum fenders and corners hold up to salt living on Long Island? The winters and beach can be brutal on my LJ.
Ah, okay, good question. So we manufacture the aluminum grade we use is actually a marine grade. So it'll actually hold up quite well. And if they get a little tarnished, you just hit them with some Scotch-Brite, and they're right back.
A lot of my customers use a product called Shark Hide for their like aluminum boats down in the Gulf. Shark Hide, yeah, it's like acetone. It's clear. You wipe it on with a terry cloth, and then you wipe it clean, and it literally keeps the salt and the chemicals from getting into it. Because the aluminum can kind of cloud up a little bit, like you're saying.
Yeah,
like
It'll
just brush it.
oxidize a little bit
Yeah.
over time, right?
Right,
But it's not damaging
It's
the
not
part.
bad, yeah.
But
It's not
every single customer I've talked to, Northeast, down in the south, the Rust Belt, everywhere, they said Shark Hide is awesome.
Good to
Will
know.
not work on steel. They tried it. If that customer's trying on steel, doesn't work. But on aluminum product,
Don't do it.
works absolutely wonders.
Yeah, I think if you don't coat it though, you just gotta be up with it with the
Yeah,
Scotch
with
Brite.
the
You gotta do
Scotch
it every month, every few weeks or something like that. Because it could, in certain corners where the water really pockets, I've seen it oxidize
Yeah.
like a good amount, but like it's not.
I mean, on my
detrimental.
own Jeep, it turns into a flap wheel and a file, and
Yeah.
and then I still got a Scotch-Brite anyway.
Yeah.
So
Sergeant Jeep says, always replace the T-case chain. They're only about $100.
oh, good. So
Jeep-
he's on. That's good. So he can.
Yeah.
He's part of the classified section.
Yeah.
He's selling Jeeps
Make sure
right
you drop
now.
your phone number.
It's a little
Selling
garage
Jeeps.
He's
sale
the
in
one
the
that sold me my
comments.
Jeep.
Yeah, I've gone to him with a bunch of Jeep parts
Yeah.
too. He's good.
good.
He's got
A lot.
He's got
crazy
everything.
amount of Jeeps.
He's
I
got
thought-
everything.
I thought we were crazy about Jeeps, but that guy. Sorry, Tommy.
I went there and there was a stack of YJ frames. and I'm
Yo!
like, holy cow!
Jordan
That's
gets a
what's
new
up.
one.
Yeah. Maybe.
Jeep Adventure says, one thing I think you should add is your fuel pump access plate while doing the bumper.
Oh,
Anyone that knows
absolutely.
me from my TJ days knows the
Terrible
nightmare of
job.
how the replacement pumps, including Bosch,
Yeah.
go.
Yep,
That's
he's
a good
absolutely
that's a
right.
good idea.
I did it on the YJ. I put
That's
the
a good
fuel
one.
pump
Yeah,
access plate.
I need to put that on mine still too. Yikes. Thanks.
What else you got?
Heaven, VB Tom, LJ's rule. Rick Turner, which stage will the TJ to LJ be?
That's probably like a year from now would be my guess.
Probably while you're
Stage-
building it to be like
Well,
serious.
if these are the first 2 stages, that's probably what, stage 3, stage 4?
Yeah. And when I do that, it's gonna get some bigger engine. I mean, eventually this will turn into my like
Twin
real
turbo
Yeah.
LS.
Yeah.
Oh man, just a race motor.
Zip says I'm
Budget.
rocking my new 24.5 gallon GenRight tank on the Rubicon next
Yeah.
week.
Nice.
We'll see you out
Gonna
there.
need it.
Like, yeah.
Jeep
Who said that?
Adventures Zip.
Whoever's
Got a
that is, okay.
2005 LJ.
Nice.
Cool.
Heaven Guard said that's what I did with the Alien gas tank V2 7 to 9 inch rear stretch with the 14 bolt.
Yep.
Troy said JK axles, you can get reed knuckles as well.
All right.
Jerome Balky asked, is there a way to fix the speedo on a 2006 TJ automatic with 4.0 and going to bigger tires?
I think we covered that.
addressed
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
covered
that's
that.
the gear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Turner said, I just finished doing the stealth stretch on my TJ. I'm at 99 inch wheelbase now, GenRight
Nice.
crawler gas tank.
Thank you.
Cool.
Trying to get to that magic 100.
99. Yeah.
Trappers
that was good.
Enslow
Stealth
asked,
stretch.
do JK axles have the same bolt pattern as the Tracer axles with the GenRight specs?
They do not.
No, it's close. It's really close. It's 5-on-5 is stock, and we're 5-on-5.5.
Yeah.
So,
And TJYJ
It's
LJ is
5-on-4.5.
5-on-4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even a little smaller.
you could do the spacer trick, like we're talking about. So,
Oh, Ari said this, and I was just saying this. These shows where the crew joins Tony are always great, and this one did not disappoint. Thanks for staying late and sharing all this knowledge with us.
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're happy to.
you,
It went
sir.
fast.
Thanks
Yeah.
for checking
Really
in.
fast.
Trail Team 7 said, with all the knowledge at that table, I was fixing to start talking to Jennings. Let's see. Jared Bell says, is there a way to get anti-squat out of the Legend double triangulated kit?
Get it out of it.
Yeah, get anti-squat out.
Well, what'll happen is if you move the axle side links closer together, you could reduce that, but that's very dangerous. You're putting a lot of stress on the Johnnies.
I think the way he's asking it,
I think
it's
he
like,
wants more.
He wants to get it out of it, like
Yeah.
get more
Get
out
more
of the suspension.
anti-squat.
Yeah.
Get more anti-squat
Yeah.
out of the suspension. Is
I
that what
think
you
so.
mean?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Maybe.
I didn't take it that way.
Okay, so
Could go both
Your
ways.
wording was confusing,
both ways.
dude.
if he,
Next
means,
question, no.
if he means what he's talking about, do our double triangulated, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, is there a way to get anti-squat out of the Legend double triangulated kit?
That's the one you want, and it'll
Yeah.
Okay.
perform right. That's what Jordan's race car had in
Yes.
it forever.
Yes. That's a good kit.
Okay.
If I built
That's a
another
good
YJ,
kit.
I'd
because it
probably
moves
do
the
that.
control arm bounce
Yes.
in.
I always smack my rear lower arms with a single triangulated. Like if I had that double triangulated kit,
Mine are beat.
Minor beat.
you guys would be walking.
What else you got?
He said yes, he wants more anti-squat.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
there you
then
go. There you
in
go.
the-
So you can play with your brackets basically.
The
on
spacing
on the
out at the axle. Yes.
Gunmetal Blue Jeep TJ says, I have 3-speed automatic 4.0 TJ, I believe with 3.07 gears. What would you recommend for a re-gear? And I do lots of highway driving and hill driving.
What size
What
tire?
size
is
tire?
it?
Tire.
What size tire?
We need the
Okay,
tire.
so
give us the tire.
If it's a 35, you're going to want to go to a 456.
Yeah.
That's
For an auto only.
And by the way, on my Tech Talk page, I've got the whole gear chart.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the
Tire
best
chart.
question of the show.
It's usually one different though. Sorry, it's usually one different though for a manual. So if you got manual with 35s, you go 488. If you got an auto, you go 456, and it's usually one off as it goes.
What do you got?
Is Jennings doing a motor swap in the T-Rex floaty for Jeepers Jamboree? I'm not telling you. You'll have to wait and see.
I know we bragged about putting some higher power on those things.
Double motors, triple motors.
Yeah.
Gunmetal Blue TJ says
Thanks for
33s.
the invite.
33.
33s.
Okay, so 33s,
410.
410, 411, yeah.
Yeah.
is where it's gonna
Okay,
be.
410. DJ Workwell. Tony, do you ever think to make some spare tire mounts to mount a rack or any recovery gear?
They're asking if we
A spare tire mount rack?
Oh.
We have one.
There is. Yeah.
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 For what Jeep? For
It's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
It's really.
yeah. So we have one that goes
I
in
think
the tire carrier.
PRP bag also. But like
Yeah.
Oh,
strap.
in the hoop.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Kyle Jackson said my 2.5 liter is not appreciating the 35s I put on, considering a V8 swap now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that 2.5 liter, you definitely got to re-gear that.
I think that's
Yeah.
something to consider too if you're looking for the Jeep. If you don't have the Jeep yet, get the 4.0, the 4.2 liter, like the straight six.
Well, unless you know you're going V8, and
Unless
then you
you-
could pick
Yeah,
up
unless
that
you're
thing
gonna throw it
dirt
away,
cheap.
because those
you
are
know?
cheaper.
Those are
yeah,
cheaper.
those are
yeah.
cheaper.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for a driver, as is, like
It's got to
Get
be
the
straight
leaving-
six.
Leaving the
Yeah.
drivetrain, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
ideally-
4.0 will run a long time as
Oh,
long as
yeah.
it's got oil pressure.
yep.
So,
Ideally a manual though, right?
Ideally.
Ideally.
well, not in my
Automatic.
opinion.
Automatic.
Automatic.
But to each their own, right? Agree
Of
to
course.
disagree.
Of course.
Agree to
Of course.
disagree.
Matt McDonough asked, would it be possible to have the rear fender attached to the corner guards and have the wheel well be a full tub with no interference on the under or inside?
Well, a lot of people do trim the wheel well, because on the corner guard it comes kind of rounded. They'll trim it so
Like
it's
a
exactly the
full-
same shape
Yeah.
as the flare. I think that's what they're going after.
So not like literally attach them to the corner guards? The
Well,
rear
they-
fender?
Oh, maybe
well, they can't be welded. They're bolted.
They might be talking about cutting the corner guard to sit on top of the fender. So the fender bolts to the body, and then maybe, possibly.
No, you want the fender attached
Yeah,
to the
to
corner
the-
guard.
to
You
the
need
corner
the
guard.
thickness, yeah.
And you
If
want
that
them
was-
separate, so if you damage one thing, you can just replace the one thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to
yeah.
redo
Or,
the
if
whole
you're
thing.
going
Both.
somewhere that's tight, you just take the fenders off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't bash them.
Exactly.
4 bolts.
So,
Your viewers are jealous of your budget.
Right.
yeah, well, like Andrew said, we'll throw things back into the pot and see how we can mix it up and see if we can get the budget lower.
Yeah.
Remember, my budget is so that I can take this thing on the Rubicon. Okay? We're not just talking about going snow wheeling
Yeah.
or down some fire roads. We're going to the Rubicon.
What if
Okay.
we redid this and we all had a certain budget, the same budget, and then we made our lists on
Sure.
our own, then we
Heck,
compared
I can
notes,
send you guys a spreadsheet.
And
We
the
can-
thing would be, we try to build a Jeep to do the Rubicon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That'd be fun. We can.
Does that mean we gotta build Jeeps too?
Well, you already got
gets
a
one.
TJ.
Tony's
Let's
buying
build
us
it.
all,
Everybody gets one.
Tony's buying us all Jeeps.
Everybody gets a TJ.
Heaven
Okay.
Guard asked, are you still rocking the Auburn locker or are you using a different locker?
I am still running the Auburn, but I know our current that they weren't able to deliver something, so we have switched to Eaton on our production curries that we're offering. So
Travers Enslow asked, does the fuel pump access panel location change from stock LJ to Tracer?
No.
No.
That's it. Is everyone going to be at 4x4 night this week? Jerome asked.
yes.
Yes.
Probably.
This week.
And I still have more. Can I cover just a little bit more?
Now that we're caught up,
Okay,
that's
so
it.
that is well, Jeep Night was my topic this Friday. At least here in Simi, I know around the country they vary in days. Some are on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you just got to check. And then I'm headed to the Rubicon next Tuesday. So Jennings and I are going there in Sonic, and we've got a bunch of customers joining us. It's going to be a blast. I had brand new shirts that are similar to this, made that say Jeepers Jamboree 2025. So that's going to be a good collector item. So you can just go there and still try to get tickets. I don't know if they have any available. If you drop my name, it might help. I don't know. Immediately following that is our Black Hills experience. If you've never wheeled in the Black Hills of South Dakota, killer wheeling. Everything from like
You could go
Big
hang
Bear
with
style
Troy.
all the way to like I had a hard time because I should have had a registered buggy.
Oh my.
So yeah, good stuff. And Troy's leading the group for 2 days through there. That's going to be a lot of fun. We don't have anybody going to Sierra Trek, but they are the same dates. Obviously, that's here in California. So if you're in California, that's a good time to go run it because they slow down the water flow. And then after that, mid-August, in fact, August 15th, is our big summer bash here. This is the big one, the big Jeep
The
night
big
that we
one.
do here in Simi, and it'll be packed.
I'm
It'll be
excited
great.
for that.
Did
That's
LGRP?
always- that's always fun.
You're gonna
That's
come
always
set
fun.
up a booth too?
Haven't even talked
Okay,
about
I
it.
sent you an invite. So,
Okay.
And then
Probably.
after
Already.
that,
Probably.
Jeff, Troy, and several other guys are going to be out at Chase. We'll be out there at the Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. That's an indoor booth right where we were last year. We'll be running specials and showing the new doors for you folks out on the East Coast. So that's a good one. Same dates. I'm doing my NorCal Overland experience trip. This was the best one of last year. And we did, I think it was 250 miles off-road. We went from like Chico, California, all the way over to Reno off-road. It was absolutely badass.
That's cool.
And that was my favorite trip of the whole year last year. Each night we camped next to a river, a lake. People brought kids, dogs, like we had the whole menagerie going. It was a blast.
Heck yeah.
So, and then of course, right now the plan is to go back out to Johnson Valley for my birthday. We'll see what the weather looks like. If it's crazy hot, then maybe we'll move to Big Bear or something. But we'll see what that looks like. And then there's I think our Turkey Run and Trail Hero and some other stuff. Further down. This is right off our website.
Yeah, that one's
So-
Trail Hero.
Yeah, so join us at one of the events. We never do anything that sucks. Okay.
Jerry wants to know, are there any Jeep nights in the Pacific Northwest?
I don't know. Jeff would be the one to answer that, and he is probably watching, or will watch, and he can reply to that person directly.
Jerome asks, is Jordan going to mention LGRP open house?
Oh, sure. What's
Next
the date on that?
Next Saturday.
26.
Not this
26th,
coming Saturday,
yep.
but the next one.
26th.
Okay. Good.
We're gonna have a swap meet. We're gonna be selling parts. We're gonna have a bunch of people out there. So if you got stuff to sell, you want to come by,
This
come
is
check
right
it
over
out.
the
Right
GenRight
here in
place.
Simi
I
also.
like it.
Right
I
out
like
here in
it.
Simi.
The ultimate
Very
budget
cool.
The ultimate budget
bill. Less
bill.
than
Yeah.
$800.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yeah, if you
You'll
can't
have
afford
the-
this, if
you'll
you
have
can't
the
afford
best.
this,
You'll have the best of the best.
you can buy the best 24 scale.
Yeah, it's gonna be
off-roader.
this big.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that big.
But you'll outwheel most people,
That's
honestly.
true. Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, come check it out.
And Daniel said he'd like to see a tech talk on how Sonic does on the Rubicon with that Stage 1 Elite.
That'd be cool.
So the guys from R1 are joining us, and they're going to have their video guy, so we're going to get a lot of
Nice.
good footage.
Yes!
Heck yeah.
But am I driving Sonic or
No,
are you
hell
driving?
no, you can't drive my Jeep. What are you talking about? You got your own
So then
Jeep.
I will be getting some footage of her
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. Thanks again. I know we ran, almost a half an hour late. So thanks for
Everyone's
sticking with
still
us.
watching. They said, great show. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nice, nice.
Well, we're talking about what we love to do, so it's not hard to do. We'd be doing this anyways. So thanks for joining
Wait,
us.
Kyle Fickler says, tell Tony and Jordan. Kyle Fickler from SEMA says hi and great show tonight.
Oh, nice.
How's it going, Kyle?
Okay, next Tech Talk is from the Rubicon. So you're definitely going to want to tune in. I'll be there with a bunch of crazy customers, and we'll be at the Ice House, right?
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be nuts. So definitely catch us there, and you'll see Sonic all packed up and ready to go into the Rubicon. So, all right, till next week. You guys have a great rest of the week.
Good night,
See you guys.
Bye.